Hello, hello. All right, all right. It is 1:35, and you are tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichifi.com. It is time for Heart Talk. This is the talk portion of our show. This is the last segment of Heart Talk for today. This is where we come to renew our hearts and restore our minds. And it's Make It Happen Monday. And today we've been talking about making it happen by embracing all of you. I feel like too many times we're trying to make it happen because we're trying to be like someone else. We're trying to model what they're doing. We're trying to imitate them. And that's why we had our quote of the day from Bruce Lee, which read, always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate it. You only need to duplicate you. You only need to duplicate you. You only need to try to be like you. You only need to compete with yourself. You're only trying to be better than the highest form of yourself that you've seen up until this point. Have a reason to compete with others. They're serving you no purpose in life by doing that. You have to be in a space where you want to embrace all of you and realize the only competition you have is with the enemy that's within me. The inner me, INNER me, is the enemy at times. And when we realize that, we find ourselves in a much more empowered space. We find ourselves in a space that allows us to overcome. We find ourselves in a space that allows us to be empowered. We find ourselves in a space that allows us to grow and make some things happen. My life did not take on didn't take the turn it took until I started to embrace me. I could embrace the good in everybody else, but I could never see it in myself. I could see the good in others, but I could never see it in myself. And it wasn't until I started to see it in myself that my life started to change. I thought I was being arrogant. I thought I was being self-centered. And I've struggled with some of those thoughts, but I know that at the core, that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. And I can't let those thoughts hold me back. I can't let others who want to lovingly tear me down, but do it in a nice way, to hold me back. That's why I have to embrace all of me. Because when I embrace all of me, good, bad, and indifferent, there's nothing anyone else can say that can throw me off track. When I embrace all of me, I want to get to 24 karat. And I'm willing to go through the refining process because I'm at 10 right now. And I know it's a process. One of the things when we did our news you can use segment today, one of the things that caught me when we were saying if you transform your habit, you transform your life, was he said, do one habit at a time. I think many of us think in order to make it happen in our lives, we need to multitask. We need to always be busy. We need to be, have our, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But a lot of times you break the eggs because you have them spread out in so many different baskets. If you just take time to take care of a basket at a time, you start to see that your life will be a lot better. Just some life hacks, some life lessons, just some takeaways, some nuggets that I want you to take away from today's show. Get still, get quiet. Allow your brain to turn off. That's one of the hardest things for me to do, to stop thinking, to stop trying to plan. There's a time and place for everything. There's a time to plan and there's a time to be still. And I think that many people think because their body is physically still, that they're still. No, when you really are still, your mind is still. You can turn off your thinking and just be. Stop trying to figure it out. Much of what we want, much of what we're praying for is not necessarily going to come from us doing. It's going to come from us chilling out and relaxing and being, embracing who we are and taking step by step to embrace that more and more and more. And as you embrace more of you, you start to see the beauty of you. You start to see the essence of you. You can love on yourself a little bit more. That's what I want to encourage you. I want you to know that you are worthy. I want you to know that it's so much more to you than what meets the eye. And I just want you to know that God really loves you. That's why you can make it happen. Maybe your parents didn't show you a lot of people don't realize that many of us are deficient and hurting because we weren't nurtured a lot. As a lot of people didn't get hugged and kissed and told I love you and really, really shown affection. And that's something that we thrive off of as humans. And when we don't get that, a lot of times we are hard. And a lot of us are hard and don't realize that hardness makes it hard for people to love on us. It also makes it hard for us to express love sometimes. I've been going through that personally. I've been realizing that as affectionate as I am, and as much as I like to compliment people, there are areas in my heart that are hardened from pain and unresolved issues that I would never have even noticed had I not started to do this work. It's like when you're digging underground, you have to get to a certain level before you can start noticing certain things, because many things that are our issues are not superficial. They are deep under the surface. So you're like, well, I've been working on myself for 10 years and I was fine up until now. No, you just didn't get deep enough. You didn't get to a space that was going to unearth some of these things that you've been hiding, because a lot of the things that we're hiding, we don't even know they're there. A lot of the issues we're going through, the human mind is amazing. When we go through trauma and pain and embarrassing and shameful moments, a lot of times our brain will make us forget about it on a conscious level because it's too much to deal with. And many of us are dealing with shame and guilt on a subconscious level that is driving our lives. And that's why I started to show up today talking about getting still, praying, meditating, journaling, expressing yourself to God, being honest with Him, because as you do that, you can make it happen. Too many of us are putting us on the back burner. It's like, I'm not going to work on my heart issues. Let me just go get my degree. I'm not going to work on my insecurities. Let me just go get in this relationship. Let me just go get married. And we wonder why we seem to never be able to get that degree, or the marriage doesn't work, or you find yourself in a lot of different relationships. Maybe you thought this one was the one and you thought you were going to propose to her, and you've been, but right when you bought the ring, it's like all hell broke loose. Did it? Or deep down inside, were you worried about that happening from the start? And because your thoughts are so powerful, you thought that dysfunction up in your life. See, we have to be willing to work through that and acknowledge those things. And how do we get to them? A lot of times we have to go through the fire, because the fire is purifying. The fire is what will tell you what's supposed to stay and what's supposed to go. Because that fire can get so hot, certain people in your life can't stay. Certain attitudes and mindsets and habits won't fly. Not for you to fly. They're weighing you down. And a lot of these things you have to let go of. And that's how you're going to make it happen. Let go. You're going to have to let go of the drama, let go of the pain, let go of the hurt, and stand. Stand in who you are. Stand in your authenticity. Stand in your healing. Stand in your enlightenment. Stand in your revitalization. Stand in your transformation. Let your heart stand. Let your heart stand so that you can be connected to the greatest form of yourself. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you with that. So this has been Heart Talk with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichifi.com. Remember, pre-order your copy of the new book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. And remember, you make it happen just by you being you. Just embrace all of you. That's it. We're sending this out to the royal couple, and I'm sending it out to all of y'all because y'all are royal. And remember, make it happen by standing in who you are. Benny King, Stand By Me, 1961. Love y'all. We'll be back to close out after this. Kai high five.